Hello, everyone. This is going to be my Final Fantasy VIII guide. Actually, haven't really been doing videos lately. It's kind of been it's been a while. I guess I did do one last night, if that counts, but that was for BDO. I think which if people haven't played it, is Black Desert Online. So I've taken a little break from console games and jumped into BDO, which was I don't know. It was okay. I played for about 2 months. Um, but yeah, it's back to consoles. I feel like I go into these I don't know cycles where I'll play an MMO or a few different ones for a few months, and then I'll come back to the console games. And so I actually played Final Fantasy VIII here. I'm not sure how long ago I took this footage. I would bet around 6 months to a year ago. So this stuff is all super old. I don't know really why I didn't make the videos. I don't know. I don't know if I was making other videos at the time. Whatever. But yeah. So anyways, long story short here, the footage is super old. So I'm gonna do my best to try to remember exactly what was going on. I actually haven't beat Final Fantasy VIII for a long time, and so at a certain point here, I'm betting I went around. I think I got about halfway through the game before I quit and went on to, or, started playing something else. So once my footage starts to catch up, I'll have to actually get back into playing and then beat the game and finish out the walkthrough. But as of right now, like I said, I'm right around halfway through, but I haven't played for about 6 months, so I'm gonna be super rusty. So here's the opening scenes are pretty cool. You're introduced to a few of the characters. This is Edea, I think, and then you've got Cypher in the white coat and Squall in the black. Kind of cool. He's in black and white, I guess. But here, my impression is this is training. And here, I don't know if Cypher cheats. Like, if they weren't supposed to be using magic. But he kind of knocks Squall down there and then swipes him in the face. Boom, ouch. And then there's, I think that's Squall's first limit break, which I forget the name of already. But yeah, so a pretty cool. I really like the battle between Cypher and Squall. I thought that was really cool. 1999. Man, this game is old. Okay. So, my initial thoughts on Final Fantasy VIII is it's all right. I don't know. There's something about it that I think just made it like it was not as popular as Final Fantasy VII. The graphics are a little bit better, actually significantly better. I mean, this is already, boy, we're almost 20 years old. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm saying that. That's crazy. But yeah, this is super dated already, but it still looks okay, in my opinion, anyway. And that's, I guess, in comparison to some of the other games that I've been playing. I've been playing some super old school RPGs. So, um, obviously, here with Squall, you can tell. I mean, the game looks a lot better than Final Fantasy VII. So I would argue that it was a significant graphical improvement over 7. But here, all right. So Squall's waking up in what I assume is like the infirmary. You've got the doctor there, which I forget her. I didn't catch her name already. And then this character is interesting. We'll be seeing her again later. But yeah, it looks like Squall's bandaged up. And then here we have, and I'm probably going to pronounce her name wrong, Quistis. I think that's her name. And apparently she's an instructor here at whatever place this is. I think this is Balam Garden. Quistis. Yeah, I don't know. All right. So she says, I knew it would be you or Cypher. So I assume she got a call saying, one of her students was in the infirmary, and then so she just assumed it was either Squall or Cypher. That's my take. So Squall here, if you'll notice, he's gonna be the I wouldn't say silent protagonist. It's not we're not talking like Chrono Cross, where the main character doesn't speak at all. But more complex than you'd think. He's I don't know. He's just not. I feel like he's not very sociable, and so he'll open up, I think, a little bit later. But yeah, pretty much keeps to himself. Excuse me. I don't know if he's he's just the silent type, I guess. I guess that's that sums him up, I would say, pretty well. All right, so this is Balam Garden, and pretty interesting place. My impression here is it's basically a military school. So I think the first time I ever played this, I never really thought about that too much, but it's pretty interesting, and I don't know, it's a different dynamic, because as you'll see a little bit later, essentially here we've got students training to be, essentially, like I said, it's like a military school, and so they're training, but the weird thing is, it feels like they're training to be mercenaries, because and this place is called a garden, so the garden contracts out to different people that essentially pay them to have the students come in and do various things. And we'll get into that a little bit more once we actually get to that part of the story, but I don't know that I don't know that I never really thought about that, or it seems weird that I didn't think about that later, or until later. But anyways, the first thing that you're going to want to do here once you actually regain control of Squall is turn the computer on, and I think this will get us our first two Guardian Forces. So yeah, just log in here to the tutorial, and then it says the GFs are, what is that, Quetzalcoatl, I think that's how you say that, and then Shiva. So good old Shiva's back. Quetzalcoatl is kind of like a Rama incarnation, I would say. I think he's lightning based. Here's what am I doing here. I think after this we can pretty much leave. Yeah, there isn't much else here. Got the card game. Actually, I guess if this is your first time you've ever played the game, it might not be a bad idea to just check out the tutorial stuff and just read a little bit. But I've played the game quite a few times, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of my time here in the tutorial. But it'll give you some interesting stuff. So anyways, Guardian Forces, or GFs, for short. I will probably just refer to them as GFs. They are essentially summons from the other games, but they act a little bit differently than, like we'll say Final Fantasy VII. So really in Final Fantasy VII, you equipped your summons as materia to your items, and that's not how this game handles it. You junction them, which is, I guess, the term. So I'm actually just junctioning Quetzalcoatl and Shiva right away. And then once you junction, you can junction commands and then passives. Or abilities, I guess they call them. And I'm not sure if that's what I'm doing yet. But alright, so anyways, this is the Guardian Force screen. And then this is all the different stuff that they can learn. And then obviously we've got a couple of abilities here that we've already learned. I'm going right into whatever that was. T Magic Refinement, I think is what that was. And then I guess I'm going to learn Strength Junction? Oh, no, okay, I changed it up with both. So I'm going to learn HP Junction with Quetzalcoatl and Strength Junction with Shiva. Alright, so let's see what Quistis has to say here. Alright, so we gotta pass some exam in the fire cavern, I guess. Okay. If you're not too confident, you can review your studies at the panel, and then she'll be waiting at the front gate. Here, yeah, we actually already did that stuff. So, Quistis does say that, you know, you can review stuff at the panel if you want to. Alright, I'm late. Oh no, crunch. Alright, so here we've got another character here. I believe this is one of the main characters. I think this is Selphie. More. Yeah, she's super late. Alright, let's give this young lady a tour. She says that the other garden is so much bigger than her other one. I don't remember which one she come. I'm curious if that's true. So we'll see. We'll see. That'll be a question answered much later. Brother gave me this. Alright, so this NPC here gives you a couple of cards. I would recommend not playing him right after you get the cards. Oh, actually it doesn't matter, you can't. He says he won't play you anyway. Okay. So he gives you, I guess, what was that, 7 cards there? But, yeah, I would say before you play anyone in cards, you'll want to save your game. That's pretty important. You don't want to lose a bunch of cards right off the bat and then, you know, not be able to play. Your first couple of card games can be extremely difficult. But once you get a good card or two, then it starts to really go in your favor, I would say. And it gets really easy to keep winning. Alright, so here's the main area. This is where the directory is at. You can actually use the directory to, I think, kind of warp to these places, if I remember correctly. So yeah, hopefully at some point or another I'll actually do that. Alright, so the dormitory, I believe that's where the rooms are at. So like if you need to rest and stuff, you can go there. The cafeteria is really cool. It's got a couple of really good players that play cards there. And so actually at the beginning of the game I spend a lot of time there. I actually spend, just in general, a lot of time playing cards. But specifically, a lot of time here right at the beginning. I like to, I mean, I like the card game. It's probably one of the more fun, like, kind of mini games in really any game that I've ever played. And then on top of that, the card game can actually result in some really powerful items at the beginning of the game. So like I said, I am going to be spending a ton of time playing the card game, and so you'll probably notice I have a pretty substantial power spike right at the very beginning of the game, and I kind of feel like that's it's an okay way to do it. Definitely helps out, you know, with the rest of the game, and it almost feels like, yeah, I mean, it can really set you up for a good amount of time. All right, so forget what seed stands for. Yeah, I don't remember. Hopefully that'll get explained eventually. But apparently there's an exam. But I believe that's the one that Quistis was talking about earlier, though, and before we take the exam, I believe that's why we have to go to the fire cavern. Alright, so there I just used the directory to warp, I guess, kind of, right to, what was this place, the library? Yeah. And if I remember correctly here, the library, you'll want to periodically stop in here. To see some, I think, extra scenes for, I don't know if you want to call it a side quest. I guess it kind of is. But yeah, I would say stop in here often and interact with the characters here. Specifically, the girl with the pigtail there, if you notice, she was actually there at the counter. And then here's a draw point with Asuna. So draw points are interesting. To be honest, I don't like the way they handled the magic at all in this game. In fact, I borderline hate it. It just feels like this extra time sink that you have to deal with. As far I shouldn't say that. There's more than one way to obtain magic, and some of them are okay, and then some of them just not at all. And then the draw points, and then actually drawing magic from enemies is just such a time sink. I hate it. So that's the aspect that I don't like about it. There's another way there where you can refine items into magic, which is not bad at all. That's not so bad. And that's actually kind of one of the great things about playing cards. And then here, what is this, a book here? Occult Fan 1. Alright, so grab that. That's at the bookshelf there on the very end. I don't remember what the occult fans are, but I'm just going to assume it's a good idea to grab those. What am I doing? So I wanted to talk to these people and I forgot to. That's my guess. Okay. Give a little stretch there and a bend. Test coming up the worst, man. I'm the only taking it. Okay. Well, that sucks. Sucks for you, buddy. Alright, let's get out of here. So the draw points. There are random draw... Well, they're not random. They're set draw points throughout the game, and you can draw magic from them. Some of them restock, and some of them don't seem to. I don't think that Asuna point there, I don't think that restocks. Or at least it... I don't remember it restocking. I guess we'll find out, but... Okay. Alright. So yeah, so that's the girl with the pigtail. I don't know if she had different dialogue there the second time. I guess I wasn't paying enough attention when I spoke to her there the first time. Alright, so where are we headed to next here? I know on this screen there's a guy that plays cards on the left. He'll be sitting down, so I'm not sure if I actually went and saw them or not. You're that problem child? What? Instructor Trep is Quistis. Quistis' last name is Trep. And hopefully I'm saying that right, but... okay, what am I doing here? There we go. What are you still doing? Alright, I don't know, I'm just talking to you, buddy. Take it easy. That's the guy right there. He'll play cards with you. I would say, again, don't play cards yet until you've saved your game, and hopefully that's what I'm going to end up doing here. There is this save point right here on this screen. I think that guy plays cards too. Yeah. Oh, maybe not. I'm not sure now. But he does talk about, there's a card group. And that'll be, I'll bring that up actually quite a bit later. There's not a whole lot to that side quest right now. I don't know that you can participate in it at all. But what is it? It's like, there's a card, the card club is like, you know, there's Jack, Queen, King, Joker, and Ace, I think. And there might be more. I don't remember, but there's a couple of there. So there's those characters or people that you can actually play cards with, and you'll discover kind of who they're at or who they are. Sorry, and where they're at a bit later. But yeah, we can't really do anything with them yet. All right, so this is obviously we've got Cypher, if you'll remember him from earlier, and then Fujin and Raijin, I think are their names. Yeah, this is Fujin. I don't know, she's kind of weird. And then Raijin, I feel like he's a little more normal. Like, what rage? What are you saying? Use your words, Fujin. Jeez. Just kind of got a temper apparently. Okay, so they're the disciplinary committee, which I should probably already sound off some alarms. It's almost like student police, I guess, is the way I look at them. But yeah, they're ridiculous. It kind of goes along with their personality, and like, I don't know, maybe I'm just biased against authority or people that are seeking out authority. Like, you know, not everybody does it right, and these guys are examples of people that aren't doing it right, or maybe I should say not doing it for the right reasons. I just feel like they've got a kind of like a power trip issue, especially Cypher. He's speeding. What? Let's go arrest that student for violation of academy regular. Okay, whatever, dude. So apparently he ran in here because Zell ran in. We're gonna arrest him for speeding. That's just ridiculous. All right, whatever. No more hot dogs today. Nuts. So Zell likes hot dogs. It's just so incompetent. Aww, sad. It's not as bright as all you here, so I was worried about his future. And about a year ago, I'm going on a journey. That's what I can do, he said. Can you believe him? Okay. Oh. Okay, so the lunch lady is a mom, and apparently her son left to go on some sort of adventure, and yeah, now he's matured. That is a story. All right, let's go, dude. We already know there's no more hot dogs today. All right, so if you run off to the right-hand side here, this is where the card players are at that I like to play, especially the guy in the back on the far right-hand side there. He's kind of hiding behind the plant. And then there's this table of 3 guys here, and you'll want to periodically check out what they've got to say. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of it's not going to have any effect. Like, you don't get anything out of it. Just a little more dialogue, but they you know, as long as you keep talking to them, they like progress. So like right away you'll notice they're giving each other trouble about, you know, not passing exams or whatever. This little boy actually has a really good card, and he runs around here on the outside. We'll track him down and take his card from him. It sounds so bad. We're taking cards from kids. But anyways, yeah, so the 3 guys there at the table, like I said, just keep, you know, periodically check in on them and, you know, talk with them and see how they're doing. And I don't remember at what specific points in the game you need to talk to them to kind of like advance their... It's not even really a side quest. Like I said, there's nothing to it. Like, you don't get anything out of it. But it's kind of interesting how they level up, I think, is how that works. Like, I think they have seed ranks or something like that, and then as long as you've, you know, talked to them, they rank up or whatever. So this is the, I forgot, is this the quad? I could be wrong. But that person looks like they're skating. Oh, they must be maybe that's rollerblading. Because there's no ice in here as far as I know. I think that was Selfie though. I think that's her following us, or she was following us. Transfer student. Okay, so they've got some sort of yeah, and I think this is Selfie here. Yeah, I'm interested. What's going on? The Garden Festival Committee. Okay, so that's what this is. Yeah, let's do it. Why not? Let's get to work. Oh, I don't want to work though. You're the type that has to be told what to do. Kinda. What do I do? What do you want? Oh yeah, it's the same thing. He doesn't say anything else. All right, so the garden committee. I don't remember what they do. I know they put on like a concert later on in the game, but I don't know if it matters much whether you join her or not. I don't know. I always do. Why not? It'll be fun. Okay, where are we headed to next? I think this is the infirmary. Yeah. This should be anyway. And this is where we started out towards the beginning. I don't know if there's anything back here, but I like to explore everything, make sure I'm not missing anything. The doctor here, Kadawaki. Dr. Kadawaki, okay. I don't think I've ever actually... Maybe I'll just stick to Dr. K. Probably easier. Which reminds me of the Breath of Fire 3 walkthrough. The worst fairy in the game was Dr. K. I don't know if that's a reference. Probably not. The games were not made by the same... Obviously, this is Square. Actually, I don't know if this is Square Enix or if it's still just Square. I don't remember what time they merged. Anyways, I think Breath of Fire 3 is... I think that's Capcom. Could be wrong. Anyways, Dr. K. Dr. K plays cards, long story short. I got on a super long tangent there. And she's okay. She's got some okay cards. Basically, the way it breaks down is most of the people have like different... I think they're considered tiers of cards. So like, you know, the worst cards are tier 1, and then it goes tier 2, and so on and so forth. Wow, where are we going? Going out to the gate, I guess. I thought I went right into playing cards, but maybe I didn't. Where are we going? There's a drop point around here too somewhere. So hopefully we'll get to that. I think it's a cure drop point, which is good. Definitely, especially at this point in the game. Oh man, I really just stood around here. I'm going to check if I need to cut this video. Nope. Okay. There we go. Back on our way. Alright, so here is the Cure drop point. And if I remember correctly, this one actually does restock. I don't remember, though, what the, like, the requirement is for them to restock. So, like, it might be just how many battles you are in. That'd be my guess. But, yeah, don't quote me on that. I don't remember what actually restocks the drop points. Alright, so here's Quistis in her, I don't know, regular clothes, I guess? Alright, we've got a few things to explain before we head off. That's cool. Let's get on with the conversation, though, buddy. Alright, GF gives us strength. So here we're gonna... Alright, which I already did this. So I've already junctioned my GFs. But here's the tutorial. Alright, so it allows us to power up our abilities. So, yeah, really interesting. If you notice here, everybody's got, like, their base stats. I see Quistis here has, like, 420 health, 17 strength, so on and so forth. The kind of cool thing is, depending on what abilities your Guardian Force has, you can kind of power those up. So like Shiva there had, I think I'm currently learning the Strength Junction. So once Shiva learns Strength Junction, we will actually be able to junction magic to the Strength attribute, which will increase the strength. Different magic will affect those abilities in different ways. Like I think for strength specifically, I think like attack magic, like fire, ice, lightning, that sort of thing. I think those are better for strength junctions. I guess don't quote me on it because I don't remember now. It's been so long since I've played. But and then things like when you get the junction HP, I think stuff like Cure, is a good one to junction. And you can just kind of test different combinations out and see what works best. Otherwise, there's an auto junction function. Auto junction. Wow, that's a good one. Auto junction function. That will like if you specifically select HP, it will junction the best possible magic that character has to increase their HP by the optimal amount. So you can do that too, and that's not so bad. Now, if you don't have a Guardian Force junctioned at all, the only thing that your character will be able to do in combat is attack, which is not great. So now that we've got two different characters, it'll be a good idea to split up your Guardian Forces. Obviously equip Squall with one and equip Quistis with the other one, just so that they can do more in battle. I always like to use draw, magic, and item. I actually don't really use the Guardian Forces really at all. Now, whether or not that's a good idea or a bad idea, I don't know. I just, I don't really like using the Guardian Forces, so. So I guess keep that in mind, and I guess I don't know that I guess I should try it a little bit, but, for whatever reason, I really just don't do that. So anyways, we'll get into the junctioning quite a bit more later once it becomes a little bit more relevant. At the beginning of the game, though, we're severely limited on what we can actually do, just because the two Guardian Forces we have aren't leveled up at all, and they've only got so many abilities. But like I said, I like to have the draw, magic, and then the item command. In addition to, obviously, everybody's got attack. So, and the reason for that is I like to be able to cast magic in battle or use items if I need to. And then I actually do a lot of magic draws from enemies as well, which I did mention that earlier. It's probably the most boring part in the entire game, is just drawing magic from enemies. It's super repetitive. So, not a big fan of that, but I would almost say, at certain points it just has to be done, and there's no way to get around it. So, alright, where are we headed to next? Back to the library, okay. I might be checking in here. I don't know if this is another scene or another dialogue that needs to be, yeah, it sure looks like it. With the pigtails girl. I don't think she's here, though, or at least I'm not seeing her. Okay. So I guess they're complaining about their budget. For snacks. That adds up, too. It's probably the most important part of a budget, is making room for snacks. Eating snacks and chatting is part of the job. It's not such a bad job. I've had one or two like that. Did a little chatting and a little, some eating snacks. Okay. So here, this guy's talking about a sorceress. We'll get into that more later as well. Here's the girl with the pigtail. And I think that's it. I think that's all you have to do is just chat with her right there. And I think that's it for right now. I don't think, yeah, and here's the drop point. It has not been restocked. And again, I don't know that it ever does. Which is kind of weird, but whatever. Alright, so let's get out of here. Hopefully in the next video, I'll do some card playing, but I'm not sure. I don't know if I took much footage of that or not. I guess we'll find out, but we're kind of coming up to the end, so I don't suspect we'll see any card playing in the next, what, 30 seconds of this video? Maybe a minute, whatever. There's a little bit left. So the parking lot there's nothing to do there. The training center, you can go in there, but there's some tough enemies. I would not recommend going there right now. Okay, I guess I'm heading back outside. Okay, interesting. Very, very interesting. Normally I would, save my game at the save point there, right inside the garden, and then just go and play cards. But maybe that's what I ended up doing. But I guess I came out here to save for sure. We'll see what I end up doing, but yeah, I guess we'll know more in the next video. Alright, anyways, I gotta cut this one. We're getting right towards the end, so I hope this guide was helpful, and I hope you join me for more videos. Thanks for watching.